Hello, this is Mary Dixon, and this is my third vlog, and the topic is psychomotor domain. I chose how to care and groom your dog, and or dogs in my case. Whenever we have an assignment such as this, or a task to do, I always enjoy relating it to something that I need to do, whether it's in the classroom or a task or activity that I really enjoy doing, because of course you have more buy-in that way. And I own a golden lab, crazy golden lab, he's right over there, I hope he doesn't make any noise, and 2 border collies. And when I was talked into taking to the 2 border collie puppies, I had no idea, I didn't think about it, what their coats were going to be like to groom. And if I were to be graded right now on grooming my dogs, my 2 border collies, I would probably get a D plus maybe. I've got all kinds of tools and brushes, and I just bought some electric clippers. And so my playlist includes pretty much every, not every, that's too strong, but the big care and grooming activities that you need to address when you're taking care of your dog. And many of them are of particular importance with long-haired dogs. My border collies have that double coat, and since I don't get to grooming them too often, they have mats behind their ears right now, and they have so much hair that also, this is not going to sound very tasteful, but it's a sad reality for me, they don't get their behinds groomed. Then if they get any kind of roughage in their system, we have a nice mess back there, and I won't go into any more detail about that. But the psychomotor domain, I think, is reading through the taxonomy is the perfect teaching and learning style for me. I recognize a lot of my teaching techniques in this taxonomy, modeling, step-by-step process, and then the student imitating what they have seen modeled and putting it into practice to whatever degree of preciseness they can. Several of the videos in my playlist, well, pretty much all of them really, are including an adult modeling on a dog how to do something, and even though they sound like simple tasks, how to bathe your dog, how to trim your dog's toenails, how to dry your dog off after a bath, how to brush your dog, how to trim your dog's hair, they all take a certain technique. Some of them not quite as, don't entail as much precision, I suppose, but they're until I really viewed some of these and gave it much thought, I didn't think about some of the things that you miss when you groom a dog. For instance, during the bathing video, they brought up that you need to address the dog's paws and how to clean those thoroughly. And I hadn't really thought about that, because I figured once the dog is being bathed, all the water runs down and cleans them off anyway. But also the videos, I think there's a couple on there that model trimming the dog's coat. That really takes some precision, because there's some areas, that are very vulnerable areas on a dog. They're around their eyes, especially if you have a dog that has some long, thick hair. Certain areas where there are coat mats around their behind, that can be problematic, between the toes of their paws. So it does take technique, and of the materials that were in this week's homework, I think the wording of the Penn State taxonomy seems to apply to my examples, or makes more sense to me as I read it and then endeavor to apply it. Observing the person modeling, and then you try and imitate their technique, and you continue to practice until you fine-tuning and adapt to the situation and increase your precision. And it reminded me also of years ago. I was a hairdresser, and when I was first learning to cut hair, it was very much the professor would model, and you very explicitly cut a certain way and held the comb and scissors a certain way, and the professor modeled and you did, or you followed how they did it. And then of course after years and years of doing it, it becomes an activity like driving your car, where you once you get the person in the chair, you comb off a section, and you have this innate sense of where to cut and how to hold the hair and where to blend it, and how to move your hands and your scissors, and it becomes so rote that you can cut a whole head of hair and not remember each step, because your hands and mind have taken over the process, and they have that kind of synchronicity between them that is really neat when you think about it after the fact, that your mind and body can adapt that way, and it's really kind of amazing that we can do that. Dog grooming activities are, I think, a good example of it, because it's something that's going to become probably mundane. It's a lot of work, but you're going to acquire a technique of trimming your dog's hair, and how you express their adrenal glands. You don't want to do that fast. Once you've done it a couple of times, the learned part in your body is going to kind of take over, and you're not going to give it a lot of thought. You're not going to think to yourself, okay, first I do this, then I do that, so on and so forth. See, bathing, that's pretty, straightforward, and it wouldn't take a whole heck of a lot of coordination of physical and mental, but it does take some thought process. There's a particular way to do it. What are some of the other interesting, I had several good grooming ones. I think the people modeled, good technique to accomplish the goal, because you're holding a squirming dog many times, and if you don't have help, which you often don't, there is a way to do it very precisely and efficiently, and as quick as possible before you lose control of the dog. I really did enjoy reading through and thinking about the psychomotor domain. I also like the reading handout developed by W. Hewitt, and the way he breaks the different levels of his taxonomy down into even more precise categories, and differentiates between them through the handout. I like the way he defines the 5 levels: imitate, where you observe the skill and attempt to repeat it; manipulate, you perform the skill and you produce a product following an observation; and then you improve the precision and modify it as needed for articulation. So that could be easily applied to dog grooming. You're going to have all different shapes and sizes of dogs. And as I said, the step naturalization, once you've acquired the skill, you acquire an ease with it, and the skill becomes automatic with limited physical or mental exertion. It becomes automaton or whatever. End. Whoops. Okay. What's going on here? I think something happened to my video. That's the end, and I sure hope that you enjoyed my vlog, and I hope it makes some sense and addresses the topic of psychomotor domain. I did enjoy it. Thank you.